Well, as the fishing has now calmed down after that flurry of nothingness, I thought I'd take this chance to talk to you about the new Commander rods from Prologic. Now, or not just the rods, we've got the reels, we've got the bite alarms, and there's also a net over there as well. So I've got a few products from the Commander range, and one of the first things you'll notice is they're not like your traditional carp rods. Now, they're green. So it's definitely something a bit more out there. They have been designed to blend into their surroundings a lot better. So what better place to test it than on a nice white gravel swim? It's probably not the best example of them blending in, but if you're in your nice little scenic grassed out swim where you're hidden amongst bushes, then they are going to blend in nicely. And it's not an in-your-face green either. It's quite a nice subtle green. It's kind of like an olivey, I don't want to say it, but it's a carpy green, which is exactly the look they're going for. And it's kind of split up with matte black as well. There's slightly glossy black reel seat, which is kind of like a vented reel seat, which is on a lot of the higher end Prologic rods. They're slightly different in terms of the makeup and the material, but the actual look is very similar to the high end Prologic rods. So overall, they're a pretty cool looking rod. In terms of the actual features, you've got series guides. Like I say, you've got the vented reel seat. You've got a nice slim shrink wrap handle, and then you've got a little grip at the end as well, which is just finished in the nice olive green. So that coloration kind of follows suit throughout the whole rod. So they look really nice. They've got the features that you'd want from a set of rods. They're really affordable as well. Now, I'm not going to actually go into prices, but if you search them up, you can see just how affordable they are. And in terms of the selection that you can go for, you can get these in 10 foot, 12 foot and 13 foot in test curves ranging from £2.75 all the way up to 3.5. Now it's the 3.5 that I've got with me today. Ben's also using the same in the other swim, and they've been hitting decent distances. I'm no caster by any means, and I hit about 30 yards. It wasn't precisely 30 because I was wrapped up to 33 and I had to walk back a little bit before I unclipped, but it was around the 30-yard range. You saw earlier as well, Ben hitting 32, hitting the clip, and he seemed to think it could go further as well. So they're a decent set of rods. If you need distance, then it's well worth looking at them. And these are only the 12 foots as well. So if you went for the 13s, obviously they're going to get that bit more distance again. But there's also shorter pack down rods available. So you can get these in 8 foot, 9 foot and 10 foot. And they've got a retractable butt system, so they do really pack down nice and small. Again, you can get them in various test curves from 2.25 all the way up to 3.5, I believe. So loads to choose from. So that's pretty much the Commander reel summed up. Reels? Rods. So if we move on to the Commander reels, again, it's keeping in that same color pattern. Now, these are very nice and smooth to use. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to test them on a fish, so I can't comment too much on the clutch when it comes to actually playing fish. But in terms of just when I'm setting the rods and things like that, it's quite nice because they're not too quick drag. So I've had reels in the past that you literally do 2 or 3 clicks on the front drag, and it just ends up going from like really quick free spool to tight in just 2 or 3 clicks. With this, you've got a lot more adjustment. So I've noticed that when I've been setting the reel, setting the bobbins, things like that, if I just turn the alarm off for a minute, then you can have it nice and smooth, and it's probably about 3/4 of a turn to go from a nice free spool to quite a tight clutch. So it gives you a bit more control over things than if it was just a very quick drag. So yeah, they're really nice in that respect. In terms of actually, I mean, I've been fishing, not at range, but about 80-90 yards most of the session, and the retrieval rate is really quick. So it's nice and smooth to retrieve. It doesn't feel like a chore getting your rigs back from that sort of distance. And again, they look the part. So you've got the green and the black. It's all matte green, matte black. It looks really good. Another nice point. A lot of you guys might slate me for it, but to be fair, I'm not actually doing it this time. They do have folded handles if you want to use that option. Now this pod is slightly bigger, so I don't need to worry about the folded handles, but if I was using them on narrower sticks or something like that and narrow buzz bar, then you've got that option where you can just simply click it in and then fold it up. So nice and simple, but not only for having your rods out, nice and simple for packing away as well. So just put that back in place. So that is the Commander reels. You can get them I think they're just available in the one size, which I've got here, which is the 7000, but you can get them in either front drag like I've got now, or a free spool system as well, where you've got obviously the switch at the back, and then it depends on your style of fishing really. I've always liked front drags, so that's why I've got this set with me. We then move on to the Commander alarms. Again, all of this range is very budget friendly, and again, if you search them up online, you'll see just how budget friendly they actually are. They do exactly what they need to do. So this one's on, isn't it? Yeah, so you can cycle through quite a few different volume options, and then it's actually got a mute function as well. So when you're actually setting your rod, putting your bobbin on, all that sort of thing, you can have it muted, and then you can just change the increments like so. You can also change sensitivity. So I think there's 4 or 5 different sensitivity options, and basically the flashes on the top of the alarm are what correspond to what sensitivity level it's on. So if we go for the highest, or that's the lowest, that's the highest. So 1 flash is the highest sensitivity, and then you can go all the way through to 5, which then takes quite a bit more line. So obviously if you're fishing quite a windy lake or something like that, then you're going to have a lower sensitivity. So then you can just change it accordingly like so. And there's also in the middle quite a nice nightlight feature, which you just hold down the sensitivity button and it turns the nightlight on. So super simple. And these are actually quite effective. We were using them last night and they're pretty bright, so it's quite nice. And again, the colour pattern fits with everything as well. So you've got the nice olive green and then bits of black amongst it. So that is the Commander alarms. Just a quick side note, the batteries are AAA as well. So they're not going to break the bank. They're not the funny, awkward sized batteries. So like I say, budget friendly, even when it comes down to the batteries. But that's a quick overview of the Commander range. Like I say, there is also a net as well, which I've chucked a couple of clips in. Unfortunately, haven't been able to use that yet. So that's kind of stayed put ever since I put it out first thing yesterday. But there you go, that's the Commander range. Make sure you check them out, search them up and find out exactly how much they are, because they are really, really budget friendly. So if you're looking for a cheaper set of rods, which definitely perform, and hopefully we've shown on this session that they do perform, then they're well worth checking out.